Why don't we go to Chapter 1 on the timeline and make sure we have the proper version of it there.
We do.
Okay, tell the jury how the in-car camera system works and as far as recording and sound that we hear.
Okay. This is the raw video, except I have added a timestamp at the top for reference purposes. This timestamp is based on the speaking clock. The in-car video systems are actually always recording. Most people think, even the police officers who operate the systems think that it only turns on when they turn on their system. But it's actually always on. And it's always on for a couple of purposes, but primarily one could imagine that if the officer were involved in a serious traffic accident without having the time to turn on their emergency equipment, or if they were ambushed when they're parked on the side of the street, they wouldn't have the ability to turn on their system. So it's actually always recording, and that information can be recovered. So within the hard drive, we always have legacy video information that is always stored on the system, and as new information is recorded, old information is automatically deleted. And this system just continues to go, day in and day out. When the police officer sees an incident, they can trigger the system to store the video from that trigger point. The trigger happens when you turn on your emergency equipment, or if you're out of your vehicle, you can hit your body pack where the radio is for the audio transmission, and you can turn it on or turn it off. What happens when you trigger it is it actually has what's called a pre-event time period. In this case, it's set up for 30 seconds, but the agency can set it up for a longer period of time. So when an officer witnesses something, let's say somebody gets into a car accident in front of them, if they go and hit the trigger and they only started with that car accident, they'd actually miss the accident. But within 30 seconds of seeing an incident, somebody goes through a red light or there's an activity in front of them, turn on the emergency equipment, it triggers the recording back 30 seconds. So then they kind of have a historic view, they get the event. In this particular case, when Officer Slager initiated the recording, he did so by turning on his emergency equipment. That automatically triggers the recording back 30 seconds. The audio is the only thing that's not always being recorded. The audio only starts at the trigger point. So we'll actually have about 30 seconds of no audio, and then we have audio.
Okay, let's go ahead and play it.
From the audio or just from the beginning?
Let's just play it from the beginning.
Okay.
And let's pause it there. Back up just a bit. Can you identify the object in front of the Officer Slager's car there?
Yes. The vehicle immediately in front of Officer Slager's car is the vehicle driven by Mr. Scott.
Okay. Let's go ahead and continue. Okay, and stop it again. Did you notice whether the brake lights were illuminated or not?
The two brake lights on the back of the car were illuminated. The third brake light was not illuminated. I can just go back if you like.
Yeah, could you go back, please?
So I'm looking at 9:32, 54, and 23 frames. We see the two brake lights on, but the third brake light is not.
Okay, let's continue. And pause it there. Same observation?
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's continue.
Dakota on a...
So the beep that we heard occurs when there's a transmission. So when the officer initiates the broadcast, there's a quick beep, and then we hear the broadcast. And the initial broadcast was about 30 seconds after it was initiated. I'll just go back for a second to the start of that. And then you'd like me to play it from there?
Yes.
Dakota on a gray color Mercedes, tag 1318 Golf Golf.
This is County 223 at 9:33.
So the broadcast, the response from the communications operator, she confirmed the stop, and then she said 9:33. So she has the same timing device as the speaking clock, which we're going to hear in a minute, but she always gives the time period verbally, so that's a secondary confirmation of the accuracy of the time.
Okay.
09:33 and 36 seconds.
I was going to record check.
So that voice, the British voice, is called the speaking clock. It's GMT speaking clock. We see it on a good percentage of the police agencies that have that record their video. Well, all of them record it, but a good percentage have the speaking clock. The beep is the time that is about to be described. So I'll go back to 9:33 and 36. So this way we can know that we're within a second of real time. So I'll play it from here. We'll hear the beep, then we'll hear her say that at the beep it was 09:33 and 36 seconds.
09:33 and 36 seconds.
I was going to record.
So that allows us to be to the second accurate with all of the sources that we have.
Okay. Let's go ahead and continue.
I was going to record channel.
County 55, 9:33.
09:33 and 46 seconds.
And could you go back just a little bit, about 10 seconds? Okay, that's good. You observed the flag at the building across the street?
Yes.
And this has been de-interlaced, correct?
No, this is the original.
This is the original.
It's interlaced. Both images are there in the image.
I see.
Yes.
But the movement of the flag, that's not an artifact or anything, right? That the flag is actually moving in the video?
Yes, it's blowing in the wind.
Okay. Let's continue.
And that's the first chapter.
Okay. Your Honor, we'll need to take a break at some time, and whenever you would like to do it. We probably have 15 minutes more of the chapters, and then we'll just have, we can wrap it up with the consolidated.
All right, we'll take a few minutes now. Please, go ahead. How much time do you need?
Sir, this is just a momentary break, so we don't have to break again. So if you give us 5 minutes, we'd be good, I think.
Not because you needed a break, because you wanted the jury.
Well, Your Honor, I think that was probably a good idea as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll take 2 minutes.